Oh, greetings everyone. This week's review will be Punisher. Start the 2004 feature with Thomas Jane and Travolta, Rebecca Romaine, who at the time was Rebecca Romaine Stamos, the late John Panette as Bumpo, Ben Foster as Spacker Dave, and Kevin Nash in his bit part as the Russian. An overall in-depth take on the Punisher. Didn't really much more of his Marine days. Well, he was retconned as a cop in the beginning, and a whole protective guy who just loses everything. I mean, of course, with Travolta playing this dastardly Howard Saint, and old Travolta played a good bad guy in that back in the day. I mean, it was like some scenes in Face Off. Well, that's for another review, and of course, all the action. Those excellent arsenal, like the one shot out when he was, when the Saints men start killing off the Castle family, and you have Frank and his dad, played by Roy Scheider of Jaws fame, in his bit part, and how they start off with like double barrel shotguns in 1911s compared to Howard Saint's boys with Uzis and assault weapons, just just going massacring all, the whole vacation spot and all because of Frank Castle's last act as a cop wound up getting the death of one of Howard Saint's sons in the mix, along with old the schmuck Eddie, and of course he was breaking around and became Castle's informant in the Saint family. and but overall, excellent character development, and of course action. I mean, you can't have Punisher without racking up a body count. I mean, woof. I mean, people were literally punished. And also got that old scene with like like at the diner where Joan worked at. And for those that don't know, that read comic book, I hadn't read the issue of Howard Saint if he's a canon, but I know Joan, Bumpo, and Dave, Spacker Dave, were like his side characters in the comic books. And of course, there was actually even one torture scene when he's torturing the gangster Mickey. That's what I meant to say, not Eddie or something like that. When he was torturing when he was cooking a steak with acetylene torch, and I stupid that was actually a takeoff Punisher Warzone issue #1. And of course, how excellent Thomas Jane was as Punisher throughout that role, and in the YouTube fan film Dirty Laundry. Shame they didn't continue to make you do sequels, but overall, Jane was on par with Stevenson, Lundgren, and Bernthal, all four actors that have both played the greatest, one of my favorite Marvel character. And of course, so gotta give it to Mark Colley as playing Harry Heck, who sounded like a goth Johnny Cash. I'll say this much. I mean, just played a song and then had a little chase in Harry Heck's Roadrunner versus Punisher's GTO, which is only in that version, not the comic book. I mean, in the comic book, he drove an Econoline, which is known as the Battle Van. It might make sense as Punisher was based, Marvel. You can almost say in fanfare, you can almost call him Boogaloo Batman. and and oof, and Kevin Nash as the Russian. I'm just like, can't believe that was Kevin Nash all them years. And I thought that was just some bootleg Dolph Lundgren type, which would have been a funny Easter egg when he was getting his butt beat to London Immobile. And ooh, and seriously, Tampa. One flaw I'd say was it taking place in Tampa when and everyone who's read a comic knows Punisher lived in New York. Although he did travel a lot, but I don't really recall the Tampa storyline unless it was like to go after crooked cops and although there was some scene where he in a extended cut where Punisher found out that his former partner was FBI partner was in on it, and also could I mention Will Patton as Quentin Glass. And I say, oh, he always made a good gangster and gangster or survivalist type guy. But back to the whole relationship and the subplot, of, where where they, where the Jonah and the nosy neighbors always find out who he was and all, and he befriended him. And then they, and after saving, after he saved Joan from her abusive ex and all, and like just old slapped him upside the head upside the head with his butterfly, and he was just like, "Don't play with knives," and 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 talk about the little just some shootouts in the Saints hideout and his money laundering room and drug boats and all, and claymores, the pistol stock pump action, grip pump action, pistol grip pump action and all, and of course the whole old Wild West crick draws, and usually round two, and back to that showdown with Harry Heck. I mean, oof, talk about a chase and how to wreck some cars, and in his line of "You are one dumb some bitch," bringing a knife to gunfight, not knowing it was a projectile knife, giving old Punisher the military man and all. I don't know. Even though I like the other Punishers and all, they ought to did like a one that didn't tie into MCU where like in the comic book where he was where Vietnam and all. At least then that could make it made a lit soundtrack. And of course the whole final showdown. And of course after he took down the one gangster guard looking his apartment with a paper cutter, then he just had the whole weapon prep montage, and then just took a compound bow and at the St. Club after he blackmailed, used his techniques to blackmail Howard Saint into believing that his wife was cheating on him with his consigliere who was actually gay and all. And then of course the whole epic shootout and epic final showdown and all. And oof, talking about some group of gangsters that deserved it and all. Alongside, along those cartel guys, the Toro brothers, and of course when the other Saint kid got his, and Howard eventually got his, where he's like, and spoilers for those that scene where he just, man, that scene where he just had that, put all those C4 bombs on there and just, and just, when it just lit up a big Punisher skull. And I gotta say, Punisher, in my opinion, is the most underrated Marvel hero, or is my personal favorite anyway. And an overall, a 5 out of 5 masterpiece. And in one, though not really not much comic accurate and all, but still enough references to the comic, and overall 5 out of 5 masterpiece. Enjoy, people.